Hey guys, welcome back to Stacking Stocks. We want to thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited to bring you even more informative content. So let's hit the ground running. Many people who follow the electric vehicle sector have been waiting to see if Lucid Group will emerge as the first direct challenger to market leader Tesla. But there are those that also believe NIO will be Tesla's first challenger. So who's it going to be? There are several reasons to make that comparison. One is that Lucid CEO Peter Rawlinson is a former Tesla employee, and he was the chief engineer in the design of Tesla's Model S sedan. Another is that Lucid is initially targeting the luxury sedan EV market and claims to have a much superior battery range than Tesla's Model S. But with a market cap of more than $700 billion, Tesla is valued by investors as much more than just an EV maker. NIO, on the other hand, also plans to launch new models that will see the EV car maker rise further. Perhaps a more appropriate comparison for investors is to look at Lucid versus a manufacturer closer in valuation and level of development, the Chinese EV company NIO. Let's compare the three companies and their stocks. Tesla and Lucid are absolutely positively destroying it, and it's really great news for the EV sector. And here's the thing, guys, the EV sector has been down in the doldrums for a very long period of time throughout 2021. We had a run up to February. This is where we saw some real highs at the end of January and the beginning of February. It wasn't until the Bloomberg terminal told us to pray. And then all of a sudden we saw tech stocks plummet. EVs fell out of favor. There was massive fear, uncertainty, and doubt about electric vehicle adoption spread amongst investors. But where is the place of Lucid, NIO, and Tesla currently? Can the three automaking companies be compared to each other? For starters, what do we know about Lucid Group? Lucid Group, a startup automaker, has unseated Tesla, the dominant maker of electric cars, as the producer of the electric vehicle that can travel farthest on a single charge. Now that's really crazy. Lucid's top-of-the-line AirDream Edition range can drive 520 miles on a full battery, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. That beats the Tesla Model S long range by more than 100 miles. Previously, the Tesla Model S was the car that could go the farthest on a charge. How far electric cars can travel before they have to be plugged in, a metric known as their range, is important because the infrastructure for charging the vehicles is in its infancy, and filling up a battery can take hours depending on the car and the charger. Well, do you get why Lucid overtaking Tesla is a big deal? President Biden and other world leaders want people to switch to electric vehicles to fight climate change. But that's unlikely to happen until the auto industry eases the fears that drivers will be left stranded with no plug in sight or will have to wait hours for their cars to refuel. Until there are more fast charging stations, automakers are trying to come up with electric cars that can go longer distances on a full battery. Tesla, which makes about 2/3 of electric vehicles sold in the United States, has long won that contest, producing several cars that can travel more than 300 miles without recharging. Many automakers have struggled to hit that threshold or go much beyond it. Lucid and its chief executive, Peter Rawlinson, a former Tesla engineer, have said for months that their cars will go further than Tesla's because they are more aerodynamic and use smaller, more efficient motors and other components. The EPA provided official confirmation of those claims. Crucially, this landmark has been achieved by Lucid's world-leading in-house EV technology, not by simply installing an oversized battery pack. Lucid is expected to begin delivering electric pickup trucks to customers very soon. Traditional automakers such as General Motors and Volkswagen are also accelerating their efforts. Ford Motors is planning to sell the electric version of its F-150 pickup truck, the most popular vehicle in the United States, next spring. But Lucid's cars will occupy a luxurious niche in the market. The AirDream Edition starts at $169,000 before federal and state incentives, though the company has said it will eventually offer more affordable versions of the Air, including one that will sell for about $77,000. The company is also working on a sport utility vehicle. So where does this leave NIO and Tesla? It might not be surprising that NIO and Lucid are approaching their markets with differences in strategy. NIO's home market of China is the largest automotive market in the world, and the government has been pushing to electrify it more and more. NIO has plenty of room to grow after delivering about 44,000 of its SUVs in 2020 and more than 71,000 in the trailing 12 months through July 2021. NIO doesn't actually manufacture its own vehicles. Its 3 SUV models are produced through an agreement with a major state-owned automaker, Jianghuai Automobile Group. The unpredictability of the Chinese Communist Party brings potential risks for investors, but the government's intentions seem to be aligned with growing the EV market. And NIO just announced a renewal of the agreement with JAC that will carry through May of 2024 and effectively double manufacturing capacity to 240,000 vehicles per year. How does that sound? More good news for investors for sure. Lucid will be initially focused on the U.S. market, and rather than mid-range SUVs, the first vehicle Lucid will sell will be its premium Dream Edition Air luxury sedan. Reservations are fully booked for the limited production edition, which costs more than $160,000, even after potential U.S. tax credits. Lucid will then begin offering its other Air models, including one that would cost less than $70,000 after tax credits. NIO, though, has also announced that it will launch its own luxury sedan, the ET7, which is due to begin production in early 2022. And similarly, Lucid has plans for long-range luxury SUV, the Gravity, which it plans to launch in 2023 following more than a year of sales of its sedan models. Another similarity is that both companies plan to expand overseas. In July 2021, NIO shipped the first load of its flagship ES8 SUVs to Norway for its initial move into the European market. It plans to create a full ecosystem in the country, including its unique battery swap network where customers can quickly obtain fully charged batteries without waiting for the recharging process. Lucid's plans also include products beyond its EVs. It's been working on an energy storage system that the company says will leverage its battery technology and management systems to be used for residential, commercial, and utility-scale energy storage needs. And Lucid already has aspirations for expansion overseas as well. It plans to have showrooms in European and Middle Eastern markets starting as early as the first half of 2022. Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund invested more than $1 billion in Lucid in 2018, helping to fund the company's Arizona factory. There are also plans to build a factory in Saudi Arabia, according to a Bloomberg report earlier this year. Like Tesla, both NIO and Lucid aim to be more than just EV companies. Lucid is trying to immediately leverage its battery technology in its initial offerings of the Air Dream Edition. With a promised range of up to 517 miles on a single charge, the Lucid Air battery system would be more efficient than the Tesla Model S, which has a 412-mile range. The company's high-end Dream Editions come in two versions, performance and range, delivering a horsepower of 1,111 and 933, respectively. And in a real-world driving test from Los Angeles to San Francisco, Lucid said its range version was able to provide 517 miles of capacity, while the performance vehicle provided a 475-mile range. For investors, both stocks include a myriad of risks. NIO is quickly growing its sales and appears to be approaching profitability and has plans to expand capacity. That would seem to make the company a lower risk as an already established business. But NIO is valued at a market cap of $62 billion, compared to Lucid's valuation of $33.5 billion. Both are still trailing Tesla's $700 billion valuation. At this point, Lucid is also very richly valued, but it has a lot of potential if it successfully manages production and quality. For investors looking at growing EV makers, both NIO and Lucid should be considered aggressive and speculative stocks. But with the appropriate allocations, both offer plenty of potential and a diverse market geographically. Owning some of both stock might be a good way to spread the risks and diversify in the EV sector. Well, those are our thoughts on Lucid, NIO, and Tesla. If you like our video, please hit the notification bell for more content. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time right here on Stacking Stocks.